flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Strap me in, fuel me with untamed speed. Data in the storm, all the rush I need. Glitches on the edge, chaos in the stream. Sim racing paradise, unraveling the sea. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Flashing lights in the dark, baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire. Chasing glory through the chaos of desire. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber moves rolling with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Flag to flag, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines climb. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel through the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Cup Series race live from the simulated Bristol Motor Speedways. We're going to go 250 miles here this evening in this race. And Countdown to Green, of course, is presented by Icon Apparel Company. Get your team set up, their favorite esports jersey, customized, fully colored, and whatever you want on it from iconapparelcompany.com. And here is your track, stats, your weather, your race information, all that on one screen. Cloudy, 72 degrees in the air, 77 on the track. Barely any wind here tonight. 4 additional tires behind the wall, 3 green, white checkered attempts, and a 75% fuel load here this evening. My name, of course, is Jeremy Stanley, and then to my right side is Jason Rockefeller, and then Dustin pressing the buttons doing the cam work this evening. Jason, what's up, dude?
Not much, man. I'm ready to get ripping here at the world's fastest half mile. This track is so difficult. As I believe the late great Cale Yarborough said years ago, this track is like driving, or rather like flying a fighter jet in a gymnasium, man. This track, it is bad fast. It is a hell yeah type of racetrack. I'm ready to go here tonight. Should be a fun one.
That's an interesting way to describe it. Hell yeah, racetrack. Absolutely. 250 laps, 15 second laps around this place, and second to final race of the season. We got points to talk about. Points. Second final race. You got to kind of look at him, and that 20 car, Jason, he's just fast. He's fast wherever you put him, right? He's 41 points ahead of second place Braxton DeWeese, 60 points. Back in third is Tyler Bowling and Nick Kaufman. They're really the only 4 drivers in contention, it looks like. That 95 car, 73 points out. So that's it. They got to have some luck if they want to tackle that lead that Nate Lesko has earned over this playoff season.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that Tyler Bowling and Nick Kaufman have absolutely nothing for Nate Lesko. If there's anybody who's going to have anything for Braxton or for Nate Lesko, it's going to be Braxton DeWeese. I mean, all these drivers did show up that are in the top 4 mathematically, as like according to the website on Sim Racer Hub with everything they have. If you go to their league and you look, and you got 4 drivers in yellow, rather 3, second, third, and fourth. Those are the guys who are mathematically eligible for a chance to win this championship. So I think Braxton DeWeese is going to have to really keep his head above his shoulders here tonight. I mean, you got 2 races left. And tonight at Bristol, you really got to earn as many points as you can. I think you have to maximize, you have to lead the lap. You have to have the fastest lap. You have to get those stage points that are very, very valuable at the end of that first stage. That's, I think, at the start of lap 75. And obviously, you have to have Nate Lesko have a bad night. But, I mean, this late in the season, it's going to be really hard to tell. I think Braxton DeWeese is probably, in my opinion, the only guy who's going to have something for Nate Lesko in that number 20.
Yeah, we got a small field too, so like driver error is going to be down to a minimum, I would imagine. I know this is a tough track typically, and we've seen a lot of looseness here so far in this practice session, off air and on air. And so, I don't know, this race could just be really drawn out on the long green flag run, or we could see some errors. And if you do have an error from your points lead in 8, well, you're not dropping back 20 spots plus like you would in the first half of the season, because you only dropped to 11. So that's also like a nice little cushion for Nate as we get the final 10 seconds left in this practice session. We're going to go 5 minutes of qualifying here shortly, but yeah, it's going to be, just to summarize that, really tough to anyone to tackle Nate. Nate's got a great chance at sealing this thing up here this evening.
Yeah, he definitely does. I think that Nate, he's been on the money all season long, no matter if it's 30 cars, if it's 10 cars. He is always up there, up in the top 5. He's got multiple wins. He's the winningest driver this season. He was only one spot short last week to Tyler Bowling, who earned his first win of the season just a week ago at Kansas. I know we weren't able to call that race, but I'm sure it was probably a fun one. I mean, Kansas is always a great race, probably one of my favorite races with this Gen 7 car to watch, at least on the service. Congratulations to Tyler Bowling on picking up his first win of the season last week. And for if you're Nate Lesko, man, it's just so many multiple second and thirds and fourths and fifths. So, it's almost like this guy is just unstoppable.
Absolutely. And here we go. Qualifying is on, so we're turning off our cameras, going full screen on this 5-minute session. The lap should be done real quick. So let's see how this plays out here. Is any surprisers to us? As got the number 1 rolling out. He's on track. We got the 69 Christopher Cash, Tyler Bowling, Eddie Baker, Dana Ryan, Brandon Finley. They all seem to be rolling out right now.
Yeah, and you see Braxton DeWeese, he's on this second lap right here, trying to make sure he can hit the money. Coming to the line this time by. He was really fast in practice to the line, off turn 4. He'll go to the top of the charts with a 14.937, almost an entire full tenth faster than the rest of the field, that being Tyler Bowling with a 15.028.
Decent lap there as we got our TwistedSpeedSetups.com in-car telemetry here from Bryce Hedgecock rolling into turn 3. As we have the sun kind of setting out here at 7:11 p.m. server time, and that's not how you're going to get the laps turned at all, as Bryce destroys the infield wall. Going to have to change the safer barrier section there, as he's going to be done for this evening on that qualifying effort. So we're going to rotate now to the 95, Nick Kaufman here, right on board with his car, and see where he places himself for this race.
And he's going to now start his lap for the first one. Kind of came off that wall. You saw him kind of slow it up down in 3 and 4 through the center, and then just diamond it through the corner. He's going to do it again right here, and I assume for his second lap, he's going to run the bottom in the corners. Gets that great launch on corner exit. There he goes right to the bottom. He kind of misses the entry point, enters a little bit shallow, washes up the racetrack. It's really loose off turn 2 and into 3. Nearly does the exact same thing he did into 1, but a little bit better of an entry. Good exit off turn number 4. I'd say that's about a third place run. And Nick Kaufman will, in fact, go to the third place. He'll go with a 15.071. So good recovery for Nick Kaufman after having a little bit of difficulty there going into turn 1.
Hey, Lesko finally enters his car with the final 2 minutes in this session as he's starting to roll. So here's your points later. Let's see how the 20 does here. Is Braxton only driver to hit the 14-second bracket, 14.937. Which also to notate, he ran the fastest practice time as well at a 14.914. So that 8 car seems to be rolling just fine no matter which session here. As sunlight kind of plays a factor. You see it right there into turn 1. It kind of cuts off about halfway in that corner set, which could be a little blind. You can miss your mark a little bit because you sometimes stare at the racing asphalt surface area and kind of use it as markers, but the sun going to play a little trickiness here before it sets fully underneath the grandstands.
Yeah, and that kind of happens. The tracks that I think about that happening at is like Phoenix or like Las Vegas. It's always been a problem on the service. And for this time of day, and he really misses 1 and 2. And that might have been an exact cause right there, was possibility of that sun into the corner. So looks like Nate Lesko, he might go to third, but I can only imagine, Jeremy, if he didn't mess up that second lap, I believe that he was going to have, he probably would have went to the top of the charts. At least I think he didn't finish his second lap. But yeah, that's just a part of it. With this sun beaming down on the racetrack and the service, you go to Las Vegas, Phoenix, any of these tracks where you start to have that sun settle in behind the grandstands, it's always going to play some sort of a factor no matter what, it seems, for these drivers' visibility.
As the final driver on track here to post any type of time, one of 2 really. Bill Hagan, car number 5, riding on board with his Cheddar Chevrolet right now as he crossed the line here. This coming around, this will be to complete his second lap, second and final one here. A little diamond effect, drops the tires below the yellow line. Typically don't see that. He's going to try to utilize it to his advantage. 15.622 for the driver of the 5 car. And Brandon Finley is done. He's just running some laps, so that is it. Times are posted. Braxton DeWeese gets the pole for the second to final race of the 2026 opening season. And we go, actually, now is the end of qualifying. So we're going to roll a few seconds here to transition into the race time. We'll see what the sunlight does. Does the time change? Does it stay the same? We'll see if the marbles wash off the track, and then we're going to, there we go, nighttime, just like that. We're going 7:45 p.m. Start the session off at sunset. You can kind of see a nice little glow. What a beautiful shot, even on the virtual world.
Yeah, this track, there's always just something special about it. I mean, they call it the Last Great Coliseum for a reason. Everybody wants to win here, wants to lift up that huge trophy that's about the size of me, and obviously hold up that gladiator sword, because this is the Last Great Coliseum. Always something fun and special about coming to this racetrack, and obviously it just looks so beautiful for a half-mile oval. Definitely really shines on the short track world.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful place. And just imagine when iRacing, not at the end of this season, but the end of their next season, they're going to have the lighting for nighttime completely updated. And it's going to look even better. So can't wait for that moment. But here we go. Starting lineup presented by Brez Coffee Co. To get this race going, Braxton DeWeese and Tyler Bowling share the front row there, first and second place. Second row will be Nate Lesko in third, Nick Kaufman in fourth. Row 3, you will find the 84 of Eddie Baker. To his outside, the 69, Mr. Christopher Cash. Row 4 in 7th place will be Dana Ryan. Brandon Finley to his outside in P8. Top 10 rather is going to end with Bill Hagan in 9th, Mitch Diamond in 10th, and then Jason, I'll take the hard work of getting the last car for you. Bryce Hedgecock starts in 11th. That's it. 11 cars are going to roll through. 2 laps of pacing, and then potentially a very long green flag run ahead of us, but we'll see how the lights turning down on the surface and cooling it off even more. We'll see how that plays with the grip levels in these virtual Goodyears.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how it's going to be off turn number 4, Jeremy. Those marbles get all the way washed up against that wall, and if you just get so close to that wall on corner exit, you can already see some of the marbles that have traveled up to the top of the racetrack that have transitioned into the nighttime session here tonight. It's going to be really difficult. We saw Bryce Hedgecock get loose off turn number 4 in qualifying. I expect these guys to have a handful with their race cars beneath them off turn 4, maybe even turn number 2. But turn 4 with this car specifically tends to be the striking point that's going to be really difficult to deal with. Obviously, this racket pinion steering, it's really hard to save these race cars. They're very, very twitchy. And not only that, but really in general, any race car you race here at Bristol Motor Speedway, it's always going to be like that no matter what.
Yeah, the setup underneath these cars are, it's kind of ends-like, it's kind of oval-like, it's a little mixture of this and that, and Dustin, our producer in my ear, I was trying to describe it the best way possible. He just says it's trash. That's quote, trash, end quote. That's all he had to say about it, and quite frankly, a lot of us
Sounds like a skill issue.
So, we got shots fired before the green flag, but he agreed.
Oh, no, I'm going live on
It's a
this one.
skill
Everybody
issue.
can hear me, so straight facts. Thank you, J-Rock. I love you, Bubba.
Oh, J-Rock can get away with that comment here as we're about to go green flag racing. Here we go. Pace car down. 8's throttles at the ready. And green flag. Green flag is in the air for the second final race of this season. And Nate with a whole shot there. 1 car length advantage as the 15 elects to stay in that third lane, even though it was clear on the bottom. 2 wide there for third and fourth. The 15, Tyler, gets clear, still remains in that second lane, rotates very nicely up there.
Oh, and here we go. Oh, and Baker around hard into the inside wall. That might bring out a caution, and it's going to. Oh, and he clips Bill Hagan, collects Mitch Diamond as well. Jeremy, what did I just say right before we went green? That top lane, or just in general, that exit of turn 4 plays a dividend here at this racetrack. Look at all these marbles on the racetrack. It's not even clean down there, and he wasn't even up at the top of the racetrack. He was going from bottom, exiting middle, and it just goes to show you late in the game, not even early in the game, and we already got our first caution of the night here on lap number 1. And Bill Hagan, I don't even know if he got touched, and if he did, it was just a skim to that number 5 machine.
Yeah, you called this, Jason, even to the comment of these things are twitchy and hard to save, and that exactly is what you just saw. So the 5 got loose even. Bill did. Just casually rolling, and then the 84 washed up the track and a stuff Mitch Diamond up there on the outside of the corner. And I think Bill barely got the contact there to the inside of his left front fender. And so now 3 cars are going to potentially have damage repaired here on this opening caution on lap number 1.
Yeah, and it's tough. We don't really have that many drivers in the field. Granted, I do believe, Jeremy, if we would have had 16 plus, maybe 20 cars and definitely more tonight here, I think we would probably be seeing the exact same thing that we just saw right there. I think you would have saw a huge, massive pileup. It happens every year at Bristol, no matter if it's in real life or the sim. This is a very tricky track. You got to be mindful. The cold tires play a huge factor here as well, no matter what series you're running. And just being no matter what lane you're on. The bottom side of this racetrack gets really slick, and the outside seems to roll a lot better on the beginning portions of these runs. But the inside lane still has that advantage with the fresh tires. But again, cold tires mean so much here. And we've seen a lot of short tracks this year as well, Jeremy. You think back to a track like Richmond. We saw guys getting wheel spin on the restarts and stuff like that. There were so many tracks where we saw a significant amount of restarts on the short tracks where guys were wrecking, guys were missing gears and stuff like that. We saw it at Charlotte. We saw it, even like I said at Richmond. It doesn't even matter if it's a short track. You got to be mindful of these cold tires. And yes, they don't really wear off a whole lot because of these wider-based, low-profile tires. But man, when they don't grip up, it is difficult to get a handle on these things.
Tuesday's race control that we broadcast for OTSS, Robert Martin on the YouTube side saying, skill issue, you can't drive. I think he was siding with Jason on Dustin's end with the Gen 7. So Dustin, might have to defend yourself one more time. He doesn't have to defend anything. He's already defended it once. So he won't do it again, he says. So here we go. Back to green flag on lap 7 is the restart time here. 3, 2, 1. Throttles down to the floorboard as the 8 gets a great launch. Nick Kaufman does as well. He's going to break out 2 cars single file, even 3 here off of turn 1 and 2. Looking to the inside there for 4th and 5th as Nate's trying to get himself into the top 3, but he's going to have to fight a little bit here with Christopher Cash. Nope, not that time. He's in the wall.
And he got into the wall right there off turn number 4. And again, another driver just really, really twitchy down into the corner. Everybody's starting to single file out, though. So it looks like for the time being, hopefully no announcers jinx, but we should be good.
Spaghetti Eddie on the YouTube side saying these cars are not good and can't wait for trucks. So everyone's on the agreement of that notion here. Lap 10 underway. Nick Kaufman, second place. He bounces off the outside wall, corner exit, turn 4. Still running. These carbon composite bodies can take a beating. Just got to wait for the toothpicks that hold them together underneath the chassis. See if they can maintain stability here as we're on lap number 11 now.
Yeah, and this is where the portion of this run's going to be, is everybody's going to start to just single file out, run that bottom, and then as the run progresses, these tires are going to wear out a little bit more. You're going to see guys start to search for the lanes up at the middle, at the top of the racetrack, start to pull the old Kyle Larson here at Bristol, where you get right up against that wall. But again, you don't want to jump the cushion, get up into the marbles that are all going to travel up towards the top of the racetrack as the night goes on. So got to be mindful of those marbles all night long. And meanwhile, it looks like Nick Kaufman going to give Braxton DeWeese a run for his money. Has been closing the gap little by little here as this little short green flag run has been going on for this time being.
Beautiful graphic. The driver versus driver. We've been utilizing this quite often since Dustin unveiled it just a month or so ago. I think it's been about a month anyways, but Braxton DeWeese versus Nick Kaufman here, P1 versus P2. See, it's about almost a 50-50 split. The times are really close between the two. That time around, 0.028 to the 95. You can see he's down to just 1 car length away from car number 8 here.
Yeah, for sure. And you see right there, Nick Kaufman just kind of wrapping bottom. Right in front of him is Braxton DeWeese. And we had a little bit of a problem here in the back half. This is the 65 of Mitch Diamond right in front of Bill Hagan. Slides up in front of him. No caution. He gets below the racing surface. iRacing and the officials also have deemed it that it is not an incident that is worth throwing a yellow. So we do stay green. And obviously, for the time being, it's still Braxton DeWeese out front.
Yeah, we missed the mark because of a caution here, but we're going to go, I think, a few laps of, we're going to go 8 laps. Moment of silence here. I didn't talk about it before. We're going to do it for Mr. Kyle Busch, the rowdy one here. We'll be back here shortly. Back to full screen here. Lap 27 officially underway, and I did not announce that out, but we had this kind of pre-planned in a way. But we talked about it a decent amount on the broadcast. Of course, it's been a week since Kyle Busch's tragic incident there, where we just lost his life, and we all had to mourn that for the whole week. And thankfully, we didn't have a broadcast on Thursday. It was not a good reason why we didn't broadcast last Thursday, but all in all, it kind of, everyone was just down and had to go through the weekend like that. So, but we're a week into this thing, and appreciate y'all for that quick little moment of silence. We're back to racing here, lap 29 of 250, and nothing really has changed since those last 8 laps there, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, we've had Nick Kaufman kind of nearly beaten off the back bumper of the 8 machine there for a hot minute, but he's kind of gotten strung out a little bit more. DeWeese is now starting to extend that gap just a little bit. He's gained about 2/10 on that number 95 machine. And meanwhile, Tyler Bowling starting to close that gap in as well. They are all basically even with lap times. And now they're passing a lap car for about the first time tonight that's practically almost on the same speed. But remember, Bill Hagan, he got out of the wall earlier, so he is a significant amount of pace down compared to everybody else. But this is that point of the race, Jeremy, where everybody is just going to be kind of single file, maintain those tires, learn what you got, learn how this race car is. And then I think after lap 75, once we go green for this last half of the race, that's when you're really going to turn on the jets and kind of learn how your race car is going to handle and know how to get business done.
100% here, single file. The cars actually look kind of stable out here. I know they're loose in the beginning, but the tires have, of course, warmed up, and they're just logging laps at this point as we got the driver versus driver, second versus third. Fruit Loops versus Cheerios out here, battling on track. We got some almost side-by-side with Nate Lesko there, a few spots back further, but just a very quiet race. It's 11 cars at Bristol. We weren't sure what we were going to see, and this is kind of what happens when cars get strung out. Ooh, the 5 washes up. Bill Hagan's having a tough time here at Bristol. kind of had to check up Christopher Cash and Nate Lesko there to turn 3 and 4.
And Nate Lesko's got a little bit of damage there on the right front. Want to see if maybe we can get a boozy tipsy cam shot on this thing right here that Dustin knows I'd love to see and utilize. But there we go. There's that right front. You see it kind of cracked up a little bit. Remember, these are composite bodies. They can take a little bit more of a beating than some other cars on the service. But, you know, this is a short track. It's not going to play too much of a factor, but I think it's definitely going to hurt that right front a little bit with the grip and stuff like that, especially trying to get through the center of the corner. It's not really going to want to point itself straight off the corner exit. It's going to want to just kind of go straight into the wall. So for Nate Lesko, definitely not the start he's wanted. He's lost 1 to 2 positions, now make it 1 because he gets by the number 69 of Christopher Cash. But he's running in 4th right now. Kind of a quiet night so far for him. And meanwhile, up at the front of the field, though, Braxton DeWeese continuing to extend that gap. Jeremy, we just mentioned it before. 3/4 tenths of a second has now turned into a whole second.
Yeah, I looked for a moment that he's going to have some decent amount of pressure on him, but as the mid-run is fully set in right now, oh, well, here's the 95, the guy he was putting the pressure on. He is coming down pit road. It is 75% fuel in these tanks, but however, that's still way more than 40 total laps, so I would imagine this is an unscheduled pit stop or he's shortcutting the run. Either way, as Dustin, my producer, updates me on the field run of 125 laps is what I heard, so I don't think this is completely planned for the 95 camp.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what is his goal right here, because I'm not going to lie to you. Usually you kind of understand, you know, Jeremy, we've both been doing this now for so long, not only with broadcast, but we've been on the service now for a decent amount of time. And you know, just like I do, there's sometimes you can really understand what people are doing for their strategies. I don't really know what the number 95 was doing right there, because now he's going to be 2 laps down. He's going to have to go get this lap back. And realistically, these next 20 or so laps are going to go by in the snap of fingers. It's not a good look for the 95. I mean, he is in a points battle. Granted, he is a significant amount of points back from the points lead. I just don't know if I like this strategy right here.
That's kind of bold and unique, right? If you don't have a chance for first place, you have an okayish chance for third to gain 1 spot. Second place being 28 or 31 points out is still kind of, I don't know, but these tires too, to notate, they kind of plateau kind of quickly. You'll probably go 30-ish laps, and then they're just going to run very consistent lap times. And so we'll see, because if the other drivers go a full fuel run, they're going to be way beyond that plateau point. So let's keep an eye on it. Let's see how the 95 performs in this, and maybe he's found something in practices that we have no idea about.
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, he was the only one back behind Braxton DeWeese, and now DeWeese is pulled out from Tyler Bowling by almost over a second. The gap is 0.93. You got third place there, Nate Lesko, who's back by 2 3/4 of a second, almost 4, or rather 3 seconds. DeWeese is really putting a whooping to everybody currently for the time being. But lap 50 this time by, you know, I don't really know what else to say besides the fact that, you know, for the number 95 machine of Nick Kaufman, he's going to have to run an entire lap faster than everybody else here for these next handful of laps. He wants to catch DeWeese. I just don't see him doing that. I don't know if this is his goal, if he thinks that he can somehow do it. I'm baffled by the strategy. I really am.
But like I said, I like it. It's spicing it up for us up here in the booth, man. I thought we were just going to run a very stagnant race here as far as the drivers and where their positions were and this and that, but gives us something to talk about. So I kind of appreciate Nick for trying it, especially whenever the points are, you know, kind of where they're going to be for the most part. And just cycling through some of the field here. Let's have Dustin fly the boozy, tipsy cam drone flying action here. And let's just hover around this battle right here. I mean, there's a couple cars. We can fly around number 1 here, the 18. We're looking at Bryce Hedgecock right now, flying off the hood of Dana Ryan in car 1. And let's just look at Bristol and its gloriness as we're kind of just, logging some laps here.
Yeah, it's obviously really cool, and this camera shows exactly what it's like here for, you know, the banking here at Bristol. I mean, just look at it. These guys are pulling so many G forces in real life and in the simulator. If you got a motion rig, man, this thing is a wild handful ride to deal with at Bristol. It is like a beast like no other. Again, like the late Cale Yarborough said, it's like flying a fighter jet in a gymnasium. It's crazy, and that's the thing, man. These laps, they go by so fast, but those last 2 laps, ever in a Bristol race, they feel like forever. I think we all know that as drivers who've raced on this track. I've gotten a couple wins myself in some C fixed and B fixed races here. Man, those last couple laps, they feel like forever, but man, you are just on the edge of control waiting for something to happen, and you're trying to be so perfect for 15 to 16 seconds. It's insane.
As we got good flying here as we're on lap 60 this time around. Appreciate you, Dustin, for flying this camera. As we're going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break here of the evening. So stay tuned. We're going to thank our sponsors, and we'll be back here shortly.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back here, stage end. Braxton DeWeese leading, I think, every lap, if not most of the laps. So Braxton's going to win that stage and line up probably P1 here on the restart after everyone makes their pit stops. The 95 Nick Kaufman, that unscheduled stop or weird strategy ended up him with a DNF. The 95 has parked the car, so both Brandon Finley and Nick Kaufman out of tonight's race. So we're down to 9 entries here left in the second to final race at Bristol. There we go. Everyone's on pit road. Camera focused on the man of the hour, Mr. Braxton DeWeese.
Yeah, I mean, and Braxton really just kind of put a whoop into the field there in that first stage. And now, you know, we have still this remaining 250 laps to go. Nick Kaufman arguably was going to be his biggest competition here tonight from what we saw in those first 75 laps, but not anymore. Now he's done. Top 10 for him. He's got that 10th place spot. The only two guys who I'd say probably definitely have a shot at him are going to be the number 20 of Nate Lesko and Braxton DeWeese, or not Braxton DeWeese, and Tyler Bowling. So we'll find out and see what happens here for these remaining laps. I still think this is Braxton DeWeese's race to lose. He needs this win if he wants to close in those points. But I think for sure, though, Jeremy, if he were to have a good night tonight and then Nate Lesko falls short, like, I don't know, 7th, 8th or something like that, I think that he's going to need to have a lot of guys show up next week, and Nate Lesko is going to have a very poor night if he wants to try to win this championship.
Yeah. We're going to bring in our stage winner. I think we're winding down the laps here, so about 1 lap. So we're going to get a quick word in, I think, with our stage winner, Mr. Braxton. Nope, not on Discord. We're going to erase that. We're not going to talk to the number 8 car. So it was a good idea. But never mind. So we're going to backtrack there. 1 lap to go. No interview here, but Braxton, good job there doing what you do at Bristol, which is doing very well. And here we go. Pace car lights off. We're going to see what happens. Who can get any control over the 8?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. I'm wondering if Tyler Bowling is going to be a little bit more careful. Everybody took note of that first initial start and then that first restart on cold tires. So interesting to see how this is going to play out right here for these drivers.
Green flag back in the air, absolutely here. And, well, there goes the 8. The whole shot engaged, plus 3 car lengths before getting into turn number 1. Right on the bottom, per schedule. Oh, the one of Dana Ryan gets a little loose there. Nate Lesko has to go to the inside. Keeps the contact away from him by going to the bottom half of the track there. Closes it up a little bit more off the turn 4. Clears the 1 car. Everyone back to single file formation as Nate is trying to find some speed to get himself into that top 3.
Yeah, I just don't think that Nate has the speed to do it. I mean, that right front fender is absolutely killed. He doesn't really have a lot for the top 3 at all. But shout out, I know that, you know, despite the circumstances, we don't really got a lot of guys left in this. We didn't really have a lot of guys to start. But how about Christopher Cash running up in the top 3? The main admin here of the Smoky Mountain Sim Series. Good to see Mr. Christopher Cash running up inside that top 3. Chris is always good to us nerds up here in the booth. Always a good guy to everybody. Oh, and as I say that, he smacks the wall. He probably had to look over at the stream right there because he heard his name being mentioned. But Chris is a great guy, man. He does a lot for this series. I don't think he gets enough credit where credit is due. It's not easy to maintain a league and stuff like that. And there he goes. He had to look at the stream again. Hits the wall off turn number 4. But great run for him tonight. Hopefully, we're going to see him next season when they go to trucks. That should be fun. Hopefully he has a little bit more luck. It's been a struggle. Oh, no! And there he goes around, but he's able to save it. Rushes the inside wall, keeps it going straight. Man, Chris. Oh, and Eddie Baker is going to go around right in front of him. Oh, and that was the most eventful half lap yet of this race besides Baker spinning out in the beginning of the race.
That was a kind of little cool 50-50 slide, bounces off the wall and continues to drive it like nothing ever happened. Eddie, very lucky, very fortunate there, and Jason trying to throw the banana peel on Christopher Cash talking about it, and there he goes. He was in the booth with us prior to the race, and he said to us that he was trying to figure out how to drive Bristol. I mean, this man was running in the top 3 for a while, so he's kind of figured it out, except for the cold tire aspect, and Lance is climbing his way all the way back up. He's currently P6 at the moment, and also the 18 Bryce Hedgecock had backed out of tonight's race after that wreck. So 3 DNFs here for this event.
Yeah, tough deal here tonight for a lot of these guys. I know everybody was hoping for a packed Bristol field. It still can be like that for the future races. Hopefully next week we get a good crowd. It is our last race of the Gen 7 season, and then again we will head over the trucks. And I guarantee you, Jeremy, we're going to see a lot more different crowd probably up at the front of this field. Some guys, like our producer Dustin, does not like this car. I don't blame him. It is a tight box. I don't mind driving this car, but it is a tight box no matter how many updates they put onto the service. But trucks are really fun. A lot of guys enjoy driving them. Those are boats as well. Like, they drive like boats, but man, you got to be really precise with them. You got to know how to manage the dirty air. There's still enough horsepower in them to where the short tracks are really difficult. The 1.5 miles, you got to be so precise and so delicate with the truck and the corners and the straightaways, and it's all an aerodynamic race, I feel like, with the truck. So we very well could see a different crowd up at the front of the field next season, and also maybe some new drivers to be up at the front face of the sport and rather this league.
100% there is right when you started talking, Jason, we saw the 65 pull on pit road and get out of the car. So Mitch Diamond with a DNF here this evening. So we got 7 drivers left in this race. Eddie Baker is 24 laps down, but he's continuing to truck along here in his car number 84. And then everybody else is on the lead lap. Last one in that line is Christopher Cash, 8.5 seconds behind the race leader, which if we load up our iRacing iFlag track map, we will see that that is half the track. It's a 15-second lap time here at 9+ seconds back now. It's over half a track length. And there is where the track is filled momentarily at this fantastic short track we call Bristol.
How crazy would it be, theoretically, if we got a spinner, went to caution, maybe DeWeese takes the lead on the restart, overcorrects it, wrecks half the field, right? And that by half the field, I mean the remaining 6 cars we got. Everybody's got to come down. We got guys who don't have meatball flags. Eddie Baker goes out there and runs 24 laps and somehow wins this race. Now, what a story that would be. And for a night where we only had 11 drivers entered in, Jeremy, could you imagine if that were to happen? I know that is huge, huge, huge. Not going to happen probably, but imagine if it did.
I mean, we're already in a moment. It looked like the Bud Shootout from, 10+ years ago where we only had a couple entries left in that race. And, that'd be kind of nuts. Or maybe our race control can throw a fixed caution with about 50 to go. Give Eddie Baker all of his laps back and have him have a chance again. That'd be kind of cool, right? A little complete awesome reset, like a little playoff within a playoff race type of situation. That'd be fun. Spice it up, since we got 7 cars left in this race. As we're 102 laps in, we're about 23 laps away from the halfway point in this event here tonight.
I'm noticing, though, that the 15 machine of Tyler Bowling has kind of traveled his way up through the middle groove. He hasn't traveled all the way up to the top of the racetrack. But, Jeremy, notice, too, look at the top of the racetrack. I know we don't have a photo of what the track looked like at the beginning of the race, but I guarantee you anybody right now who rewinds the stream and goes back and looks at lap 1 to right now here on lap 105, the top of this racetrack is totally different. The marbles have scattered all the way up to the top of the racetrack, right where all those black dots and those seams are. And that's a great shot for Dustin right there to give us. You see all the rubber that's been laid down on the bottom of the racetrack, and then there's that kind of, that lane right there with that's like a light gray stripe. That is all rubber that hasn't been laid down. That is still clean racetrack, and there are marbles scattered throughout that lane. But as the run progresses here, we have 144 laps to go. If these guys keep on traveling further and further up that racetrack, that lane is going to rubber in. You're going to see that dark grayish black stuff from the bottom of the middle lane move up to the top, and then you're going to get a super dark blackness up at the top right on the cushion like you see right there. That's all the marbles from all the pieces of Goodyear Eagle that are just shredding and rubbing off these tires.
It's actually a pretty decent battle for this race lead, too. And yeah, with all the marbles up there. I mean, remember when this track was first repaved and progressively banked, and everybody was just running the wall. The wall. That was it. That was the only fast lane. And then they've laid a bunch of PJ1 down, and then, the 10-plus years of racing on the surface multiple times a year. And all that's kind of leveled out the playing field. They can run the bottom, they can run the middle, and they can run the top, but when you put the hold on.
What a save.
Bowling almost went bowling himself. Tires are a little pissed off right there. You got to cool him down. He's going to give up a quarter of a track on the 8, trying to get him cooled down. But, yeah, you can't run the top anymore. There's too many marbles to clear out, so now you're stuck to the bottom and middle. So this has almost become like an older styled Bristol event where the bottom seems to be, for the most part, the preferred lane once again.
Well, I also think, Jeremy, that definitely has to do with the this new car. I mean, I know it's not really so new anymore. We're coming to the closure of the 4th year with it. Or rather, the closure of the 4th year come November for this car. So it's not. I mean, is it really still new? I mean, we've been running this car now for 4 season starts now. So I really think it's just because of the amount of downforce these cars have in the rear with the wider body, the wider tire that just doesn't wear out and stuff like that. There's just too much downforce. Denny Hamlin talked about it, when they went to Dover and stuff like that, and he talked about it on Actions Detrimental in his podcast. He said there's just too much grip. There's just too much drag on these cars. It was Talladega when he said it, like, oh, that's why we're all so close together and nobody can really make runs because the drag is just so tremendous here. That's why you see a lot of guys riding in line. You don't see a lot of searching for grooves up at the top of the racetrack, but shout out to the drivers that do. Because, man, if you never watched a Bristol race prior to, like, 2000 and, like, I would say what, Jeremy? Like, prior to 2019, before they put those giant-ass spoilers on, as I'd like to quote Dale Jr., this racetrack, you had multiple grooves. It was a 750 horsepower package, and even before that, they had more horsepower, lower downforce. It was just a great time to be at this racetrack. Everybody was running everywhere, but now that it's kind of been guided back down to the bottom with that PJ1 and also these wider, low-profile tires that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, it's true. These cars have less flexibility on the racing line than... I mean, if it's a 1.5 mile track, they seem to have a little more... do what you want kind of drive in them. This car is great for the 1.5 miles, but just for Bristol, like the O'Reilly car can go anywhere and have a blast. You can have a blast driving them, and the viewers in the stands and on TV can have a great time watching them, but not with this one. We're kind of stuck, very limited on what they can do at Bristol here. And yeah, the wide tires are just... Oh, caution out here this evening for the third. Whoa, it's Eddie Baker. And he just put Tyler Bowling in the wall, at least made him chase up the track. We're going to have to take a look at the replay. I think he either hit the wall or scuffed it. We'll find out here. Eddie Baker just having a terrible time with handling.
Marbles. You see it right there, Jeremy.
Marbles.
Let's take a look at the rewind real quick. I want to see. Dustin, come on. You know what I want. There we go. Good job, Dustin. So proud of you tonight, baby. So there we go. Right there up at the top of the racetrack. You see him. He's all the way up at the top of that cushion, just on the edge of the marbles. The car starts to kind of just get out from under him there, and he's already gripping that top lane. So he just kind of gets loose, overcorrects it. That rack and pinion steering with the car being so twitchy, just so hard to save a race car here. He goes into the wall, makes hard contact with the front end, and then obviously the 15 machine has to chase his ass up the racetrack here. And there he goes right down in front of Braxton DeWeese. And Eddie Baker overcorrects it. Tyler Bowling, I don't think he hit the wall. He does. I wonder if that's going to lead to any damage there on the 15's right front. I think it did.
Yeah, let's see here how much contact there was. He did the right move by going up to the top, barely avoids them. See the sparks flying there for a moment. And I know the body physically is going to be okay. You just got to make sure the toe is in check and whatnot. And race control has the hard job of hitting the 84 with the black flag for the second caution brought out this evening. And I say that because he's already 20 plus laps down, so insult to injury. So 84 is getting some repairs done. He might or might not come back to the surface. We'll see how that plays out, but we get to restack him again. As long as the 15 is okay, Jason, Tyler gets a reset and tries to get over Mr. DeWeese again.
Yeah, I don't really see any damage to the right front fender. Everybody did just pit, by the way, so the top 6 do have 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. They had 4 extra sets behind the wall here tonight. They've already taken 1 off and put in another twice. So this is their second extra set they've put on. They got 2 sets left behind the wall. And you see right there, DeWeese elected to take 2 tires. So that is already a set. I think he could put left side tires on if he wants to. But obviously that's not optimal. You don't want left side tires here at Bristol. If you're going to put on any tires that aren't a total of 4, you're going to put them on the rights rather than the left. But we're going to find out and see here. We got 1 lap now, half a lap to go to green. Tyler Bowling has not gotten a good restart, Jeremy, the last 2 restarts here. I wonder if that's going to change. But we got 5 cars, now make it 6, getting ready here for this restart.
Yep, here we go. We're going to see what happens here. Pace car down, and for the 4th time, the green flag is flying in the air here as Braxton gets another 3-car length hole shot over the 15, just like that. Same old for the car number 8. As 15 is going to try to chase him down. Nate Lesko, 3rd place. He's got a fresh set of track position in front of him here to try to keep up with the top 2. Have just been on a tear here this evening.
Yeah, this number 8 machine is just absolutely insane. And now they're going to really just have to kind of wait and see what Braxton DeWeese's fall off has been. But it's been like little to none all night here, Jeremy. Granted, we did have 1 long green flag run there right before Eddie Baker went around. I wouldn't be surprised if we do have 1 more yellow. I mean, these guys are really underestimating the tire wear here. They're getting really loose off the corners and stuff. We've seen it happen to Baker twice. We've seen it happen to half the field. That's no joke. We only had 11 cars enter, and we have half the field remaining. So with 122 laps to go, Jeremy, this race is flying. We are just shy of halfway, or now we're past halfway here. So it's time to put your foot on the loud pedal. You got to go. 121 laps to go. This should just be on the number for the fuel run here, if I'm correct with the trends. But they should be able to make it all the way to the end on fuel.
I do believe that is correct, based on what Dustin had mentioned earlier with 125 laps there. That was just past the halfway mark. So in theory, yes, that is indeed what we're looking at here. Which, you know, right now 8's got a huge lead over the 15, so he's going to be happy to know that he is done pitting, and we can kind of keep that in track there with the twistedspeeds.com in-car telemetry as we kind of tinker that on and off throughout this broadcast here. As I got to thank a couple sponsors, by the way, before we get this thing closed out. If you allow us to do this every Thursday here. So first and foremost, we're going to go with BK Designs, specialize in high-quality custom iRacing paints for just $25, $15 redos. And whether if you're looking for a sleek professional look or a bold eye-catching design, look no further than BK Designs, which you can find them on Facebook. Wheeler's Painting, which is Wheeler's Painting and More, turning houses into homes. And then Whitehead Auto Detailing, making sure your vehicle looks and feels as good as new to you. And all three of those brands are on the old Facebook. These are on lap 137, the scheduled 250, 114 laps remaining in this second to last race here, the 2026 opening season for Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Cup Series. And Jason, we're moving on to trucks next year. How are we feeling about the trucks?
I like the trucks a lot, man. You know, I've done most of my racing on the sim with the trucks. I do love the trucks. They have a soft spot for me. I honestly really wish, and honestly, I think that it's something, and if Chris Cash hears this when he watches the broadcast again, I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm gonna tell you this. You want these guys to have a handful. You want Aero to not play such a big factor. I'm gonna say this. Run the old 2009 Silverado. Do not run the new truck. As much as I love the new truck, I think that it would be so fun to watch these guys on the edge of control in an old, higher horsepower, lower downforce truck. It would be so fun because let's all agree here. I know all three of us watched the trucks back in 2005 to 2010. Man, that was like the peak of Truck Series action. It was awesome. Those trucks are so fun to drive. They're out of control. You got to maintain throttle. Tire wear is beyond what you could even think of. The truck is so much fun, man. I've had so much fun driving those legacy trucks in those little 20-lap Daytona features at like Legacy Daytona, Legacy Pocono. I won a ton of Legacy truck races at Charlotte and Pocono a couple of years ago. I just had so much fun, and it just goes to show you don't got to run those series that gain you I rating, man. Some guys like going out there. They like running those Gen 7 races that don't mean anything for your I rating. They like running those truck races with the old trucks. It's just so much fun. I think it would make just a much better series. And obviously, I think that this would really pay a big dividend into the driver's skill here going into next season. So, Chris Cash, if you're listening to me, I know I rambled on. Just think about it. That's all I got to say, man.
Just think about it. They got plenty of time to think tonight, man. As the logging the laps here can get a little much, right? So you got a lot of time to think about it. So if he's got a broadcast, which a lot of drivers do kind of run the broadcast on their second monitor, so keep hearing cars bounce off the wall. I don't know if you heard that in the past lap or so, but they're pushing the limits on corner exit. But yeah, no. As Bill Hagan goes one lap down, so it's going to be just the top 5 left here. There goes car number 5, Bill Hagan on pit road. He just went 1 lap down. This has got to be an unscheduled stop, so this might be the end. He's got a lot of damage actually on the left front fender. So there was a wreck here with the 5 somewhere.
Yeah, it has not been a night for Bill Hagan or Eddie Baker for sure. And we'll take a look at the replay if there was something. He's going to be in the pits here for a lengthy period of time. And here it is, Nerd TV Rewind. Backing it up. I don't see anything yet. I think Dustin.
Going.
Oh,
yeah,
what the hell? Did the Oh, he hit the wall. Okay, I was like, why did that just come off like he blew a tire? It looked like the left front was down. I was like, I've never seen that on iRacing, but there we go. Turn 4 strikes again off the corner, Jeremy. Just little too much loud pedal, and you get loose off that corner. And then look at that thing. I think it broke the toe link. Breaks off piece of the fender.
Yeah, turn 3 and 4 is more than 180 degrees of rotation, and so the cars can get a little extra loose on that corner versus the exit of turn 2, which is less than 180 degrees, and it can maybe feel a little bit tighter on that exit. So doesn't surprise me that turn 4 is the troublesome corner tonight. And the 15 is starting to reel back in Braxton a little bit here. It's about a 3 to 4 car length Advantage for the 8 right now on the back straightaway, lap 153 of the scheduled 250, so under 100 laps in this event for the Cash Customs 250. As we're kind of cycling back to the race leaders, see Nate Lesko still in the picture. Your top 3, 1.3 is the gap for these 3 drivers. Either one of them, has a decent chance, but of course Braxton's the one still leading the way.
Yeah, but Tyler Bowling has been right there. The gap has maintained around 0.5 to 0.4 the whole time. Let's take a look here at the head-to-head matchup between these drivers. I want to say it's maybe about 20 laps. 20 laps is my guess to see if the 15 machine can catch the number 8 machine, but we don't have that up yet. You just see right there that the gap is still 5/10 of a second. Now it's almost 4. But Tyler has still been given a run for the 8's money. He gets a little bit loose there off turn number 4. He does not want to do that because remember, Jeremy, last time he nearly caught him, he got loose off turn 4, lost all that momentum, lost about 3 or 4, 5/10 of a second. But now he's reeling him in a little bit. In fact, DeWeese got loose about a lap ago. That gap went down to 0.3, but there we go. About 17 laps, it said, for a split second. So I was pretty close there to hitting the money. But I think Tyler Bowling genuinely does have something for Braxton. I just don't know what more he's going to have to do. I think he's going to have to let these tires wear out for another 40 laps or so. And then once that about 30, 40 lap to go mark hits, I would say run like hell and try go rip top.
Yeah, try something new, right? If you feel like you're going to fall back here, but he's still in good distance. If there's any
He is right now, though.
Yeah, if there's any mistake from the 8 car, then the 15 can capitalize. But if he starts to fall back more and more, which it looks like, at least that time off turn 4, Tyler just got really tight and had to check up there, lost a car length or so on that corner. But Nate can probably do that. Go clear out some marbles up top, maybe find some speed late in the run in this event, do something a little different here, as Bill Hagan is backed out of the event as well. So as you see, it's going to be just your top 6 left in this event.
Yeah, and it's obviously a tough deal. I know we obviously want more cars and stuff like that, but it is the end of the season. A lot of drivers don't feel like they have an opportunity to win, championship, or they just simply can't make it. It's a tough deal. I wish we could get more driver count, but then again, I think we would probably only be halfway through this race if that were the case here tonight. I mean, we're already about to hit 10 o'clock here on the East Coast, and we already got 87 laps to go. We've turned 164 laps at Bristol. If this was a normal 20, 30, 40 car race at Bristol, man, you'd be here all night. I think we all know that. This is just how the way that this racetrack goes. I'm going to say it again. I don't care how many times I got to say it. It's like flying a fighter jet in a gymnasium, as the late, great Cale Yarborough said. And it really is, man. It's tough. You got all these guys out here, 30, 40 guys and gals, trying to just go for every single position for 250 laps around this half mile, and you're turning a lap in 15 to 16 seconds, man. That's really impressive. Door to door, 2, sometimes 3 wide, 4 if you got the balls to do it. But it's just such a difficult racetrack to master. This is one of the hardest racetracks these drivers will go to every single season, and a lot of guys just think, lift off the throttle, probably a little bit of brake pressure in the corner, let the car rotate. Yeah, I'll be fine. Nah, it's so much more than that. Seen so many guys get loose off turn 4, get up into the wall just from being up top into the marbles too much, get loose off 2. Man, this is a difficult racetrack. But, nevertheless, I mean, if we would have had about 25 cars out here tonight, I think this would have been a wreck fest big time.
82 laps to go. I think we're going to take our second and final picture-in-picture commercial break of the evening. So we're going to let that cycle through here. We'll be back in about 10 laps or so.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back full screen here. Going to be 63 laps remaining in the Cash Customs 250 at Bristol here for the second to final race of the season. And the 15 is starting to close in a little bit here, Jason. He was about 4 to 5 car lengths, and now it kind of looks like, depending on the track, he's getting to within 3.
Yeah, he's been gaining a little bit. Remember, that gap extended out to about 7/8 tenths of a second just a handful of laps ago. Now the gap is 3 tenths. And we were just talking about, man, we think that Braxton DeWeese could have this, if he just doesn't make a mistake. But Tyler Bowling, man, he might have been saving some tire. Look at him just kind of drive up through there, running a little bit different of the line than Braxton DeWeese. He's running about half the lane up compared to DeWeese. But DeWeese is noticing that. And he's kind of traveled up to the racetrack, put some dirty air on that number 15 machine. But now Bowling will travel further up the racetrack to try to get a run.
He's still running that slightly higher line for the most part, keeping a little air on that nose anyways, and it's working, man. I think he might have been saving just a touch. He really extended this run out here, and he's closed in to upwards of 2 car lengths as he goes through turn 1 that time, getting closer and closer. Let's see how he can manage this part now, because this is the hardest part, right, is the pass in the dirty air part. And we see one car way up there running the marbles. And that's Christopher Cash in the 69. He's trying to clear out that third lane. He wants to have some fun with Nate Lesko.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, why not? You want to go out there and have fun. Just, Chris, we're talking about you. Don't run into the wall, goddammit. Don't wreck yourself, please. You're having a good race, even though I know there's only 11 guys, man. Don't wreck yourself. I know we're talking about you. But yeah, I mean, obviously these guys are just out here to have fun, you know, and shout out to the drivers that do show up and they know their chances at a championship are diminished. And they were for a while, but they come out here to have fun. I mean, obviously Chris is one of the admins of the series. He needs to be here on a weekly basis, but you know, he's out here showing these guys that they can still have a fun time no matter how many drivers are on the racetrack. But to see him just out here having some fun, with Nate Lesko and everybody else is always a good time. But meanwhile, up at the front of the field, we got a battle for the lead. Tyler Bowling has gotten right to the back bumper of Braxton DeWeese. DeWeese has kind of tried to have to travel up the racetrack a little bit. Jeremy, 250 laps. We got 53 to go this time by. We got 4 drivers on the lead lap, but yet the battle for the lead is still heating up.
Still there, Christopher Cash is still putting pressure on Nate Lesko, so all of a sudden we have 2 battles on the track here to kind of close out this event with just over 50 laps remaining in this race. Now the 8 car gets a little tight in center, checks up, got a little loose, maybe on exit even. Tyler brings him right back in just like that. So after all these laps led, this could be maybe the time for Tyler to come through in the very back half of this race and close the deal here.
Brushed the wall a little bit there off turn number 4, but he got a way better entry to the corner and exit. DeWeese. They got the pit.
Pitting.
I think they do have to pit, because remember that pit stop that they did have was right on the money for the fuel run. So some of these guys probably think they don't have enough fuel to make it to the end, and they don't want to go that much of a length of run on the tire life. So Jeremy, I don't think it's far-fetched to say that there's a possibility we might have one of these other 3 guys try to save, and we're just going to see what happens. Because, I mean, the last lap for Tyler Bowling this time by at the line as he gets sideways was a 15.875, making a 15.979. His best lap is only 0.8 better. So with new tires, I don't know how this is going to be for DeWeese. Jeremy, this might be one of those scenarios where we got one guy on a different strategy and everybody else is just kind of running the same, trying to hope and pray for the best.
Yeah, the driver on the track like that with under 50 to go is going to be absolutely nuts. So we're going to have to just watch Tyler. I mean, we thought the field was good. And so, I don't know, that 75% fuel, maybe it doesn't go 125, but now the Tyler has all the time to lift, right? You see the big gap already. He's spacing out real quick, already a quarter of a track distance. But that can only last so long before the tire wear starts to kick in and his run starts to plateau. So let's just keep an eye out on this as he continues just to blister around the track here.
Braxton DeWeese has the fastest lap of the race with a 15.092. His last lap
we got a
was
wreck on the front stretch. Sorry, it's going to be Christopher Cash spinning out.
No
Loses
caution.
it. He saves it just in time, gets it off the track. We stay clear of any yellow.
Oh, man. God bless, because I was really hoping to see that this race goes green all the way to the end, and really unfortunate for Chris Cash. But meanwhile, back to Braxton DeWeese, man, he's running 15.2s. Your leader, Tyler Bowling, is running 16.0s. And Braxton DeWeese is 3 laps down. Or not 3 laps down. My apologies. I am so sorry. I am reading the grid lost positions. He's currently in that 4th spot, 1.5 laps down compared to Tyler Bowling. So I think he could get there. But Jeremy, if this 15 machine elects to really run out the fuel and just save tire and just drive like he's doing, I think the tires are going to equalize for Braxton DeWeese, and he's going to run them things a little bit, less than what they had obviously when he exited the pit. So, man, Jeremy, 40 laps to go. I'm hyped, man. This for 4 cars right now, 3 cars on the lead lap. This is going to get interesting.
Yeah, this made it a little more exciting on the booth. I mean, the battle was starting to heat up and become very fun to watch. But now we're just kind of flipping the pages here, going from lap time to lap time, track position to track position, and just bouncing and trying to figure out, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Why did we pit? What was the idea behind it? Was it the right timing? Was it too early, too late? There's a bunch of questions that just all of a sudden sprung up from when Tyler found pit road. You see the 15 has 8 not even in his sights. It's a half a track difference. He's off of 4 while the other one's off of 2. But was try to log the laps of the 15. I mean, last time by was what, 15. Let's kind of look at this list here while we're watching them cross the line. The last time was a 15.829. And as we get across the line this time, let's see if it drops into the 9/10 of a second bracket. It does, 9.27. As we got our last lap, the leader lap on the page, and that's literally an identical lap time if that stat is correct right there.
Yeah.
To the thousandths of a second.
And the thing is, too, Jeremy, Tyler Bowling, he's been fluctuating around the 15.9 and 8. He ran a 16 a couple times, but he bumped it down 2/10. Look at Braxton DeWeese. Let's take a look and see what the leader's lap time is compared to his. Because I'll tell you what it is on my end. I'm reading it right now. His last lap time, 15.570 to the leader's 15.9. Jeremy, this is not going to work out for this number 8 car. If the 15 can stretch the fuel, he's never going to get there. He's still over a lap down.
Yeah, my numbers mixed up there. I apologize, but yeah, that's not enough of a difference. 4/10, like, let's see if we can watch it. There's 3/10. Yeah, we're already starting to plateau a little bit here, so not going to be enough. Absolutely. Let's pull up the Twisted Speed Setup.com in-car telemetry from your race leader, Mr. Bowling. I'm just kind of curious, like, what he's looking at fuel-wise. He sees himself in the orange. We got 30 laps to go.
I think he's got it.
Yeah, the RPMs are still up. Like, he's not fuel conserving.
And he's not dropping a gear either, which we really haven't seen here tonight. I know a lot of guys tend to drop a gear later on in the portions of these runs because they have to slow down a significant amount, but he's not dropped into 4th gear at all. He is still in 5th. Those RPMs are still high, Jeremy, like you mentioned. And even Dustin just said in our ears, we think he can make it. I think he can make it. I don't see this race being won by DeWeese unless there is a caution. And even then, he's still going to have to come around and get the wave around if he's not the first car lap down, because right now, Dana Ryan holds that place in 3rd. There's only 2 cars on the lead lap. And mind you, too, Nate Lesko is running nearly identical lap times to Tyler Bowling as well. If something happens to Bowling, Nate Lesko is only 2 seconds back here. We're coming to 26 to go this time by. Anything can still happen here. And remember, there is always the opportunity for a looming caution out in the distance as well.
Yeah, I saw the RPM bar there was very smooth on and off that throttle, so he's doing what he can to keep that car. Plus, you don't need to drop the gear regardless, right? Because that can upset the car, and shifting issues could happen. So why chance it? Just run it in 5th gear and send it off into the sunset here. 25 to go. Yeah, it's not going to be it. So 15 should be good on fuel. We'll find out as he gets to the very end of this race if he has to do a splash and go. Don't think that's the case, but it's just crazy how Braxton came down pit road and thought that was the best call with less than 50 to go.
Yeah, and it's really just honestly a travesty for him, because think about it right now. I mean, we won't even be able to talk to him if he doesn't get by Dana Ryan. I mean, I know he's kind of gaining a little bit on Ryan, but he's still about almost 2 seconds back to Dana Ryan. And, I mean, look at that, man. He's led 200 of the 230 laps we're about to have complete on the board. He's just dominated tonight. I'm just blown away by this call more than I was at Nick Kaufman's earlier.
Yep, 20 to go this time around. And, yeah, that's just kind of... 15's all by his lonesome. Only 2 drivers on the lead lap. Tyler Bowling, Nate Lesko. Dana Ryan is a lap down there. So is Braxton DeWeese. So all right, they're right next to each other on the track, by the way. There he is. There's your two cars battling for the first lap down marker, which this will easily go to the 8 for sure. Unless there's a caution that just happens to happen right now. Just give it a couple more laps. Nate's going to be passing her on the outside. Under 20 laps to go. This is about the only battle on track right now. Let's see how much pressure the one puts on the 8.
Yeah, and here comes DeWeese now to the outside. This is going to be the battle for who gets back on the lead lap if there is a caution without taking the wave around. Grind on the inside. DeWeese easily going to get by this number 1 machine to the outside. He'll take the 3rd spot away. So it looks like for the time being, if things happen the way they happen right now and end the way they do, Braxton DeWeese will be able to talk to us, and we'll be able to talk to him about that call he made. But, man, you got to feel for him a little bit. But it's his own doing. I just think he thought everybody was going to pit. I didn't really see a reason. Oh, we got a car on the wall inside the racetrack, and it's your leader, Tyler Bowling. He slams the inside wall off turn number 2, and he gets loose again. And, Jeremy, I think he might have a toe link.
This could be huge and very upsetting if that's the case.
Nate Lesko goes to the lead.
Hey, let's go to the race lead. We're doing an TV rewind. Here's the slam to the inside wall. We saw Bill Hagan do this about 50-plus laps ago on the front stretch. This is the first time off of turn 2. We're going to see a car get loose and slam the inside wall. Heavy destruction to that left rear tire. There's got to be at least something knocked out of place on that car.
But you know what, though? He's still kind of holding his ground right now at Lesko. The gap is still about 6/10 of a second. I just don't think he's going to be able to get there. He is going to have to turn on the jets, and he's got to do it now if he wants to gain. You can see him. He gets loose off turn 4. Jeremy, this race went from being one of the most uneventful races ever after that first caution to this has been one of the weirdest races I think we may have ever called.
Between the lack of drivers and the strategy variances and the leader wrecking there when he had the race all but sealed up, and now we got Nate Lesko, who hasn't led a single lap until now, and that's your points leader. Now all of a sudden he's going to be extending that points lead over Braxton and Tyler after some 2 interesting. It almost looks like the 8 car is running on a Ferrari strategy in F1. Just very odd situation there. He passes the 15, so now Braxton's going to try to get to Nate Lesko with under 10 laps to go. It's probably not going to be a thing here, as Nate can just put this thing in cruise control because the 15's limping around the racetrack right now.
Yeah, if I were him, man, just easy on the throttle. I mean, you have no reason to go out there and run hot laps. You got 8 laps to go. Jeremy, this is one of the most chaotic turn of events I've ever seen in a race. And what did I just say? That the 15 had it, but don't count out Nate Lesko. He was right there to jump on the 15's mistake. And man, I had Nate Lesko out. After I saw that right front damage for him tonight, I fully was like, yep, nope, he's done. It just goes to show you with auto racing, you can never count out the possibility of something that you say won't happen. It has happened so many times in the world of motorsports, and it's about to happen here in the sim racing world tonight. If Nate Lesko can just hang on this time by at the line, 5 laps to go for the number 20 Nesquik machine, looking for what would be his 6th win of the season.
And this is Braxton's race where he's like, this could be for me in the race lead. Now I'm looking to just try to get my lap back here so I don't fall as the 3rd place car with 1 lap down at the end of the race here on the official scoring. To the outside, he's going to try to do it. Try to be that 3rd car on the lead lap. A little tight this time off a turn 4. Nate's going to drop to the bottom, slow up early. 8 side by side, not for position. Once again, this is Nate Lesko's lead. This is Braxton DeWeese's way to get back to the lead lap. Still P3 for the car number 8.
And with 2 laps to go, I'm pretty sure the number 20 machine has just enough in the tank. Look at real quick here if we can get that fuel telemetry to just pop up one more time. And he is running on fumes. But boy, I think he's got enough for it. I think he does. This time by at the line, Jeremy, white flags out. 1 lap to go for Nate Lesko. looking to extend the points lead and head into the final race of the season with an extreme chance to win the championship. Looking for the 6th win of the season off 4.
And there it is to solidify the championship. Nate Lesko takes P1 here this evening for his team at IWP. And we might as well give him the trophy in victory lane because I don't think there's any chance with the amount of drivers here in the past few weeks are going to. Yep, there it is. Got confirmation in server. Championship belongs to Nate Lesko.
Wow. Congratulations to Mr. Nate Lesko, man. What a drive this season. He was so consistent compared to every other driver in this field. You had your contenders here and there, but at the end of the season, we still got one race left to go, and that's the beauty of this points format that we are now looking back at the start of this year going, what's old is new, and the chase has been reborn, and you can clinch this championship a race, 2 races, 3 races prior to the final race of the season. But in all, Jeremy, at the end of the season, it just makes it more sweet for the driver who wins the championship because it means that you raced your ass off and you deserved it. Congratulations to Nate Lesko and the entire Intentional Wrecking podcast team.
I would say that is Nesquik chocolate milk sweet.
You're not funny.
You're very welcome for that. And just like that, we're going to run down the unofficial results here and then talk to at least 2 of our drivers that are in their channel waiting to be interviewed here. Nate Lesko, Tyler Bowling, Braxton DeWeese is your top 3. Everybody else, 4th on back, 1 lap down or more, which the only other running car was the number 1 of Dana Ryan. 5th on back, DNF. That's going to be Christopher Cash, Bill Hagan, Eddie Baker, Mitch Diamond, Bryce Hedgecock, Nick Kaufman, and Brandon Findlay. As your complete 11 driver list here. We have 2 of the 3 in Discord. I don't think Braxton typically gets on here. We'll see if he does pop in, but we're going to fire up the Victory Fuel post-race show. And we're going to talk first to our 2nd place finisher. That's going to be, there's Braxton. He popped in. There we go. So never mind. He did just for us. Thank you, Braxton. Here we go. 3rd place finisher. Car number 8, Mr. Braxton DeWeese. Thank you for signing on Discord, sir. And talk about the pit road call here with about 50-ish laps to go.
That's not the pit call I'll be talking about. The one is the beforehand that set up the last one, and it was an idiotic call. I had the race won, had the pace, I had everything. Just needed to do the right strategy, and I had a previous race determine my strategy call, and well, it went the other way. So yeah, pretty frustrating. If we would have, I really feel like if we would have taken the 4 and filled it up, won this race. But it is what it is. Not able to race for a championship anymore. We would have had to have won next week anyways. If we were able to win this week, you know, anything could have happened. We definitely had the pace at the end of the season here. Just more often than not, it's either a shifter having problems or me making a dumb pit call. So it is what it is.
Well, Braxton, don't be so glum on yourself, man. Obviously, I know you guys have next season, and hopefully we will see you return for when they go back to trucks. I made a standpoint on the broadcast saying, man, I would love to see them run the 2009 Silverado. I think that would be badass. But, man, you're going to be coming back hopefully next year. Are you going to be coming back? And if you are, what are you looking forward to coming into next season, knowing you're not going to be running this Gen 7 car anymore? And what's your confidence level like knowing you can contend with these guys out here?
Well, we got one more race left, so I'm just going to worry about that and try to go for another win. Be our 2nd win on the year, and then I'll worry about next season and what we got going on. Thursday's a test and tune day at Killcare, and we use that up, even though we don't race there with the Roadster. So we'll see. I'm just looking forward to the next week and trying to redeem myself. That's all about.
Yeah, Braxton, fantastic pace there. Really quick car, and yeah, go get them next week. Try to capitalize and pick up the W to end the season off here. But you are here. We're going to send you off. But beforehand, thank your sponsors. Any shout outs you'd like to give out?
Yeah, big shout out to 3 Dips Ice Cream Shop for being on the car the entire season. We've definitely looked good the entire season, in my opinion. Just needed to be a little bit better. You know, we get a couple more wins. That's 20 extra bonus points. it's a huge ordeal. So, Darlington would have went a different way, and if tonight would have went a different way, we could have potentially been points leader going into next week. But it wasn't meant to be. I just got to be on top of it more with strategy. I've done this long enough that I should be on top of it, but it is what it is. Definitely still happy to be up here and have the most top fives and most top tens with our 3-up ice cream machine. So that's something that's positive to look forward to, I guess. But nonetheless, big shout out to Interstate Ford as well. Stake Time to East Renovations. Pure Sim Racing, you can use the code BDR5 for 5% off over there. Elevated TV, Ghost Train, Wooden Nickel Band, Evan Pineta Designs, Phillips Wraps and Graphics, our Pete's House in Winchester, Indiana. Beaver Contracting for sponsoring the Roadsters at Anderson. We're not racing at Winchester or Anderson this weekend, but we're going to be racing at Shady Bowl. So it's the home track. It's one of 2 races there this weekend, and hopefully we can get the gremlins actually out of the car. We thought we had them all out, but we still got a couple that are in there. So still working on that, but nonetheless, we're going to be out there racing, and hopefully we do the best we can. Hopefully I'll
All
take
you can-
care, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. That's all you can do. You take care of yourself, and yep, we'll catch you for the season finale.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Braxton, for popping in here just to give us a post-race interview when he didn't really have to do it. He was in the Discord all night long, so big shout out to that. And now Tyler Bowling, P2, next one to grab up here.
Maybe.
Tyler, man, P2 in that 15 Cheerios car. Fuel became a strategy call. We had very little concern about it until we kept logging it, and we saw you guys are like threading the needle. I know Nate was probably a couple laps away from running super thin. But how was your run out there this evening?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, overall, felt like it was good. Battle Braxton there was a lot of fun. Really wasn't sure if I would be able to get around him or not. Even if I had a little bit better tires there, but yeah, it was a good battle and good P2 for today.
And Tyler, man, I know we obviously got. I hate to be that guy, man, but off turn number 2, saw you get
Yeah.
wicked loose, man. Talk about that. I saw it happening all night long. This car just has this tendency off turn 4 and off turn 2. No matter where you run, bottom, middle, top, nobody really cares. It's just these cars, they just snap on you, man. What happened?
Yeah.
Because you were running such a good pace.
Yeah, I was starting to experiment with downshifting to 4s just to see if that would be better, just to help with the right front tire wear, help it make it a little looser. And I think it might have just heated up the right rear a little bit too much when I shifted back to 5th. Because prior to that, I was able to kind of go full throttle after about mid corner. And I tried to do the same thing immediately after I stopped shifting in 5th, and was not prepared for how loose it was going to be.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. That was a heavy impact there, and I was like, "Oh man, that did it." And Nate just kind of took it from there. What was all broken the car? And what was the steering feeling like?
Nothing. No, the just I had front and rear end damage a little bit. Nothing. Yeah, just a little bit damage. Wasn't too bad. No wheel damage or anything.
Okay, yeah, 10-4. I was impressed. I'm impressed by that because that was a heavy impact there to that left rear. But good solid performance nonetheless, though, man. Excellent job
Yeah.
out there tonight. Gained a little bit on Braxton, closed up that gap for P2 potentially. You came in 19 points out, and it should be pretty close for next week. So good luck then. But any shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, just shout out to Nate for sticking through here tonight, and my dad, he watched a little bit tonight, and also Braxton, he put a hell of a qualifying lap, and it was a good race with him, and of course you guys for holding Brack podcast and everything.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time, and go get them next week.
Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yes, you too. That was Tyler Bowling, driver the number 15, and now it's time to load up the Icon Apparel Victory Lane scene for not only the race winner, but the championship winner, Mr. Nate Lesko. What's up, man? Congratulations on 2 trophies here this evening.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, man, we're doing fantastic. You didn't have the fast car, but you had the
No.
best strategy, and you didn't get loose, and you kind of just ran a consistent race there, and consistency paid off for you this evening.
Yeah, I feel like I mean these guys these guys are fast, so usually not the fastest one. I just have to try to make the least mistakes, and that's really how I'm gonna come across these wins. So fortunate it worked out today, but no, those 2 ahead of me were definitely quicker.
And Nate, congratulations, man. 6th win of the season. Dude, I gotta say, like, I think for us up here in the booth, I think we all, even you guys as drivers, kind of knew how this race was going to go after everybody kind of started dropping like flies. Only 11 cars on the track, but man, was that not one of the weirdest races I feel like anybody's ever been a part of? Because I had you counted out after I saw the right front damage. I thought Braxton was going to run away with it. Then I thought Tyler was going to run away with it. And then all of a sudden, here you come, like a bat out of hell, out of nowhere, man. I mean, what was your reaction to all those events going on tonight?
I mean, I was content in third. I was just looking forward to see how the last race would go, and kind of questioning what the points would look like going into that. I was thinking about had a lot of time to think about that race during this one, so it came on quickly at the end there. It's an opportunity to take the lead. So, yeah, no, it was definitely a swing of emotions there.
And yeah, talk about your championship, and then also what kind of fun are you gonna have next week?
No, I appreciate the guys IWP. I mean, they've been fast, all of them, all season long. So, I mean, even competing against them in this race, Tyler's, I mean, he's going over lines and what's working and not, and kind of sharing information. So, I mean, even though we're competing against each other, we're all helping each other. So I appreciate all those guys. It's I'm excited to have this championship and looking forward to the next week. Kind of relaxing a little bit, but definitely trying to get another W.
All right, man. Well, good luck doing such there. And any other shout outs before we let you go tonight?
Shout out my mom and dad for watching, and hopefully they made it all these laps. We'll see. I'll talk to them later tomorrow. Shout out to those guys.
Excellent, man. Good job there. Race winner, championship winner, Nate. Let's go here this evening. Congrats. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, there we go. IWP seals the team championship. They get the driver championship. They get the Bristol Trophy. Jason, that's it. Next week's all for fun there, except for 2 drivers, Tyler Bowling, Braxton DeWeese, battling for 2nd place on the overall standings.
Yeah, man, I'm hoping that we can probably get a good car count for the last race of the season. It would be really nice to have, I mean, I think it obviously makes everybody's viewing experience a lot better, not only for us up here in the booth, but obviously everybody watching at home. I think it would be awesome to see. So, if all the drivers go back and watch this broadcast, I definitely applaud them for coming out here tonight and running this race. And obviously, just going out here, put on a show, man. 250 laps with 6 cars on the lead lap for more than half the race is not an easy thing to do. It's very drawn out. Nobody wants to do that, but they come out here because, they love to do it. We were talking Jeremy, hey, the hell with them. I don't care if they're running for a championship. I want to go out here and race, man. You dedicate your Thursday night just like anybody else here. So I really appreciate it, that they did. I really hopefully see a lot of drivers next week. I know I'm looking forward to the trucks. And Chris Cash, please take my advice. Please run that 09 Silverado next season, man. I would love to see it. That would be absolutely sick. But there is obviously one thing that, we obviously brought up briefly during the show. Obviously we lost Kyle Busch last week, due to a severe illness. And, just want to say, I mean, for somebody who has pretty much been, I mean, I know you and Dustin are much older than me and stuff like that, but, I mean, I was right through the prime of Kyle Busch and stuff. I'm just saying, but like, I mean, I was there through Kyle's start of his rookie year growing up. So it's like, it's like childhood to me, to see somebody like that, gone in the blink of an eye is pretty crazy. This is my generation's 2001, it's tough to see, but, I know we obviously wept and we've been sobbing and kind of learning how to decompress over this last week. And, I just want to say, everybody, keep your head up high, make sure you hold your loved ones tight, you give them a hug, and obviously be nice to everybody. Kindness is free. Remember that. So it's always nice to be nice. My thoughts and prayers are with everybody, Samantha, Brexton, Lennox, the entire NASCAR industry, everybody, his fans, us in general, and Kyle's family as a whole. Just goes to show you can't take life for granted. I'm really going to miss seeing him on Sundays. I'm glad I got to see him on Sunday a couple weeks ago at Dover. He will be missed. And one more race left for the season. I'm looking forward to it next week. So hopefully everybody will tune in for that.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for sticking out this one with only a 11 driver count there. It's still, it's Bristol, so we did what we could for you guys. Appreciate you for subscribing, liking, following our pages, and yeah, take a look at nerditudes.gg for our official Nerditudes shirtitudes is what we're dubbing those from the Nerd Swag section and all that fun stuff. But you guys have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. We'll see you live this coming Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then following up with the season finale for Smoky Mountain Sim Racing next Thursday at also 9 p.m. So have a good night. We'll see you Tuesday.
Touchscreen and louder to the range. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is rolling with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines climb. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll.